Yes, Prem, please go ahead. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Uh, Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, friends. Uh, Welcome to yet another session of BSMED Alumni Let's Learn Together lecture series. What started as an initiative by Mr. S.M. Shankar and team, Nagaraj, that let's keep ourselves engaged in this lockdown period, has now gone to another level. We believe that every day we learn something new from our own brethren. No, it has been a learning experience for all of us over the past week and so, more than 10 days. And we have learned so many things, right from having how to publish a book to how to keep yourself mentally fit. Today, in that series, we have Mr. Reguraman, who needs no introduction to all those who are active in the BSMED WhatsApp groups. A software professional by he's an engineer by qualification, started his career as a software professional, having worked for the big names like TCS, Infosys, and Cognizant. Spent about a sizable part of his career in that field, and later he became himself a social entrepreneur. What has been his passion. So I believe that we had in the past somebody speaking about how to keep yourself healthy, bodily fit, by Mr. Anand, who had given us a talk on the benefits of having Kangen water. Yesterday we had Mani, who spoke about how to be mentally fit. Today you have someone who can speak about both. Not only that, not only your body, not only your mind, but also to your soul. So without wasting much of the time and standing between you and Raghuram, I request Mr. Raghuram to take over the session.
Okay, thank you so much, Prem, for that kind and warm introduction. Thank you so much. Let me bring up I welcome all the participants and my special guest, Swatantra and Pratik as well. Let me bring up my presentation screen. Okay. So just a little bit of background on top of what Prem gave. It all started happening in a progressive, elaborative manner. I started learning meditation when I was taught meditation when I was in seventh standard at the school, but TM, Transcendental Meditation, with the Maharishi, Mahesh Yogi group. And I did not continue, obviously. And again, when I went to the college, I was restarted the meditation. That's when I came to know meditation per se has got several benefits. They have done a lot of research. Maharishi, the Transcendental Meditation, they have a kind of a university in Switzerland where they have done a lot of research, the impact of meditation on physiology, sociology, psychology, etc. So meditation, I was very, I like the concept of meditation, but I could not continue during that time. Then again during 97, that's when I bumped into, Sahaj Marg or what we call heartfulness meditation. Then after that, there was no looking back. I've been practicing for the last 22 years. In the whole journey, after I started practicing meditation, my diet changed from a meat eater family to a vegetarian, and now I'm a vegan for the last. I'm on a plant-based diet for the last 9 years. So when you become stick to a plant-based food, people around you get worried and they start worried, and then for that I need to learn about the basics about nutrition. So 2015, I came back from US, and my son had eczema. To treat that, a friend of mine recommended aloe vera, and that's when I started understood the benefits of aloe vera and started using the products as well as creating the awareness for all these wellness and health related things. That's how my life turned from a IT project manager for about 20 years, and now I'm thoroughly into holistic wellness. So my background to the meditation and emotional part and the mind, and now with the nutrition and like the water, etc., made me connect all the dots. So I thought it's high time I share this, what I have learned or what I feel I got as a gift to the rest of the world. So I welcome you all to just sit back, stay yourself hydrated, and enjoy the session. Okay. So it's about the importance of balancing our body, mind, and soul on a daily basis. It's not about doing it occasionally. It's very important we do follow certain protocol and do it on a daily basis. As you could see, whatever we invest on the health, we get to know the benefits slightly long term towards the little later part of the life, how we carry out ourselves compared to the same age group. That's when we realize whatever time and money and effort we invested on wellness is worth its effort. So these two women, as you could obviously see, they're all same age, but the way they or at the physical mental level will be totally different. I will just begin with the concept of wellness. Wellness actually has got about 8 dimensions. Primarily at the individual level, it is actually the spiritual, emotional, then you have the mental and the physical. This is at the body level. Then you also have the financial and social. I know how much we are all deprived of not able to see our friends and colleagues whom we used to see on a daily basis physically. And besides these six, there are also two other dimensions, primarily the environmental and intellectual. So these are the 8 dimensions of wellness. So it's very important for all these wellness dimensions to work in a proper synchronized way. Otherwise, any kind of a lag or imperfection in one dimension can actually cause huge havoc. So this is all the 8 different components. We can just move on. So as you could clearly, I have just categorized into inner wellness and outer wellness. So inner wellness is obvious, like I listed out. The outer wellness, as we could see today, the reason why I thought this topic is even more relevant in today's lockdown days is, I may be having a perfect health, I may be having good finances, I may have a good, relationships, but if the outer world is not in sync with this wellness, for example, the public health is totally in havoc, and we are not able to step out. That is the situation we are in. And also about the financial part, the economy, the global economy, that is also people are worried about it. Then the occupational employment or the business part of it and the social influence. So it's very important that the inner wellness and outer wellness, both are equally important. One without the other can cause imbalance. I'm sure all of you can agree with me. Now we will just confine ourselves to the inner wellness. That is the topic of the day. Primarily, I have seen a lot of wellness coaches, or health coaches working in silos. Somebody talking just about the food alone. Somebody talking about just yoga alone. Somebody talking about meditation alone. I realized it is not. We should not be working in a silo. We must be working together. All the 4 dimensions must be working together. So I came across a Japanese scientific researcher, telling that the root cause of diseases is spiritual is 50%, emotional is 25%, mental is 15%, physical is 10%. So whatever imbalances happen at the spiritual level, emotional level, mental level, show up in the form of a physical imbalances. That's why sometimes the diseases are even called, psychosomatic diseases. Disease is not because of the body, it's because of our mental imbalances. Even though body side also because of nutritional deficiency and toxins and infections, it can also cause these health issues. Yeah. So if you really look at it, there are only fundamentally there are only four things going into a system. Primarily, we are breathing 24/7. We are constantly thinking, thoughts are there, except when we sleep. And we are drinking, water and several liquids, and we are eating food, snacks or medicines, etc. So these are the four things that are going into our system. So if we could have a control or a regulation of these four things, we can the health will be, we can able to handle the health, and also most importantly, what you don't eliminate. So a lot of things or by the involuntary, things, because our, we constantly sweat. Due to that, a lot of toxins go away, and we do the nature call, through the nature call, we eliminate a lot of waste, and continuously we are actually exhaling. Carbon dioxide is let out. That is also, taking away a lot of toxins out. Yeah. So this picture is, kind of must give a big bird's eye view or a big picture about what I'm going to do for the rest of the, session. Primarily, it's about, as I said, the spiritual wellness. There, I will explain what we do, and then comes the mental, then comes the emotional, and the physical part. Where actually I missed to mention sleep. Sleep is very important part of the physical wellness. Physical, then comes the some kind of a movement of the body, exercise or fitness, etc., yoga, etc. Then comes the nutrition. Nutrition is actually a combination of water and food. It's not just food alone. And water, approximately 72% of our body is water, so we need to adequately hydrate ourselves. Hope all of you carrying some, water bottle with you, and hydrating yourself. If not, please pick up some water and, hydrate yourself. Then we have the food. Food also I have certain recommendations based on my experience and the experience of several people who are keeping very good, fitness and health. So what exactly we mean by spiritual well-being? There is always a continuous, kind of a discussion between, religion and spirituality. What, my understanding of spirituality is connecting with the higher self. It's like a, small drop going and merging with the ocean. That kind of, understanding. And so technically, it is about possessing a set of guiding beliefs, principles, and values that help give some direction or a purpose to our life, and also having a high level of faith, hope, and commitment to our individual beliefs, and willingness to seek meaning and purpose in human existence. Why am I here? What am I doing? This. So we understand based on, the evolution theory. It's about evolution. We are constantly evolving, and now we have become like a human being. What next? That's a question many of us will have. Even the scientific people with the scientific mind will have, what next? I have become a human from a unicellular. I have become like a, sixth sense person. What next? So, and to get answers to all these questions, the spiritual dimension helps. In this, like I mentioned, I've been practicing pranahuti aided heartfulness meditation for about 22 years now. Basically, I think many of you, I think some of you will have a meditation background. You must be practicing some form of meditation or the other. Primarily, meditation is about, basically, we have the mind. It's about kind of relaxing the mind. The mind is like a pendulum, keeps swinging, both the direction. So when you do meditation, you are actually trying to still the mind. When the mind is still, we say the mind becomes empty, and we say the heart becomes full. We let the heart take over. In fact, recently I was reading some literature that tells that, heart itself, we normally tend to think it's the brain that makes all the decisions. It's actually influenced by the heart. I think all of you will agree that, the role of heart in the body. And so primary, and also another part of it is, we all believe in the concept of soul and the spirit, or the Western world calls it the spirit. And we also, in the Indian context, we kind of, believe in the concept of karma. We all feel that, whatever happened today is because of what I thought or what I did yesterday. And whatever is going to happen in the future is what I'm going to conduct myself today. So this kind of a belief about in the karma, will helps us to guide us through towards the spiritual well-being. And so we primarily practice, the tools we use is basically meditation. So meditation is, as I have mentioned here, it's a condition in which we temporarily lose ourselves. At the same time, we expand into a greater self. From we say from a conscious to a subconscious to a superconscious. That's how you carry your, mind through. And so this experience basically has got several dimensions. One is from at a bodily level, you feel so relaxed. That's why a lot of people who have health issues, heart-related problems, are recommended to do some kind of a meditation. So it definitely relaxes at the worldly level or the material level. It also helps to relax the mind at the mental health level. Then it actually has got a lot of spiritual, dimensions to it. Yeah. And what is so unique about this particular meditation that I'm practicing is we have something called cleaning. The cleaning is all about, it's like a how you kind of clean your house and keep it clean. More untidy the house is, more the problem. Similarly, the mind needs to be cleansed on a daily basis, because when we constantly think, when we constantly talk to somebody, our inner self, we register everything, what we call samskara. That particular samskara can actually cause the future thought and action. So on a daily basis we have this practice of cleaning, where we use the willpower. If you really look at it, between the difference between animals and humans, among many other things, is humans have the intelligence. Second things, humans are blessed, only humans are blessed with willpower. That's why, in spite of the however, kind of situation right now is, we are all keeping, very, cheerful. We have the willpower. We feel we can actually turn it around. But of course, we need to be humble. We need to really, humble, and with the willpower, we'll be able to, do things much better. So our Adi Guru, what he has stated is, God has hidden himself inside your hearts and exposed you. Hide yourself and expose God. So this is what we accomplish through meditation at the spiritual level. Yeah. If any of you have questions, you can hold on to that. When we have the Q&A, at that time I can answer your questions. So emotional well-being, we saw through NLP yesterday a lot about emotions. Primarily, it's about the life is a comedy for those who think and tragedy for those who feel. It's about how we think and how we feel. We constantly kind of juggle between these two emotions, thoughts and feelings. And so this, compared to other kind of a well-beings, spiritual and emotional are actually not at a fixed state. They constantly, go up and down. At some point we are actually happy, and some incident or something can actually make us, feel sad or something. So that's where we kind of even meditation helps there to develop something like an emotional intelligence, what we call people with a high EQ. In fact, there are a lot of studies that indicate that a successful person has got high EQ than IQ. A lot of, especially people who are in business, have a lot of EQ than IQ. It's about the ability to. So I would like to get one or two quick answers from the audience. So what do you think is the, what comes to your mind when you say emotional, intelligence? What is your concept or understanding of emotional intelligence? Is
Good evening,
everyone?
Ananda.
Yeah, go ahead, Krishna. Yeah.
Emotional intelligence is your ability to process information with the brain as well as the
Okay.
heart. The
Okay.
heart has an upper hand when you
Very good.
respond.
Very good. Yeah. Thank you. So it's primarily about the ability to respond than react. So here, briefly, we have amygdala in the brain. That is what is responsible for reacting. When someone insults me or hurts me, that's when the amygdala takes over, and that actually makes the adrenaline rush happen, and we do the fight or flight decision. Instantly it all happens. So we say that there is a kind of a logical brain gets short circuited. We are not logically thinking whether it's a right or not to do the fight or flight. We jump into action. That's where it's recommended to, whether we are in a happy state or a sad state. We need to give ourselves a period of 5 minutes to 30 minutes. That's when this kind of short circuit can be handled by the body and react. Sorry, respond rather than react. So here again, meditation helps to develop the inner consciousness to handle emotions. I said, we need to do the waiting of 5 minutes to 30 minutes, before we, jump into action. So we, and another term I always like when you speak about emotional well-being, it's a responsibility, right? The word responsibility, it's about ability to choose the response. What kind of response I should have? In fact, it's not that getting angry is not right at all. If it is right, then we can get angry to the level that is required. So that must be decided with the logical mind. That's what we understand. Yeah. We will now move into the next third dimension of the inner well-being. It's about the mental well-being. And see, today India, a country like India, or previously it used to be like a malnutrition was a problem, not having enough nutrition. Then, if you look at it, thanks to the economic development, now the problem has become like a malnutrition. We are eating a lot of junk foods and processed foods, etc. And now the other dimension where we have a huge challenge is the mental health issues in India. These are some of the information I came across in the newspaper that mental health in India, about 1.5% of the country is affected with mental health. This is actually from the October, 2019, from the last year data, not the current situation. I God forbid, I am afraid, how the current mental health in India is now and post lockdown. And another data I came across is India has highest suicide rate in Southeast Asia according to World Health Organization. And I think in fact India stands second in terms of women suicides, because of several reasons. It could be a domestic violence. It could be because of poor academics, some because academically they failed to meet their expectation and then they committed suicide. There are several reasons. I can go on and on. I think during the corona situation, I believe what's happening is, I read that at the global level, the Germany, the secretary, one of the minister, he committed suicide. Because he found the crisis really overwhelming, he could not handle it. And in India, as everything is closed down, a lot of people, especially the real sufferers, are actually people who are alcoholics. They got used to drinking and now they are actually severely challenged. And I read a news that a son actually killed his father because he was not giving money to buy the liquor in the black market or something. So the mental health issue is a major issue. I think all of you will agree. It doesn't need any more explanation. So thought pollution is your greatest inner threat. So what we can do about it, a simple thing is, again, a meditation. Yeah, a zero cost way of approaching is through meditation, simple meditation or a prayer, whatever your belief is around that. And we also, as part of our wellness center, we offer something called sound healing. It is primarily the concept evolved from our temple bells. That's how it should have evolved from. We still have the bells in our temple, they ring the bell. And then it has gone to the Tibet, and now they use the Tibetan, singing bowls, and that has become very popular in the Western world now. In fact, I saw in a German a physicist, with the stethoscope. He was actually, holding a kind of a bowl like this, as you could see, a bowl like this, and he was primarily doing it. And I also saw a technician. He was actually standing close to a person who is in a kind of a coma or a ventilator kind of situation, bedridden, and he was actually using it to heal herself. So what actually happens is, our mind or a brain responds to sound much better than any other intervention. So when all our organs, they all vibrate at a frequency. The difference between voice and sound is, voice, to hear the voice, you need to have you need to have a good ear and a healthy ear. Whereas the sound can actually penetrate through our body 360-degree into the body, and they can actually go and actually heal at the cellular level. That's what it happens. And what actually we do, how we handle is, whenever somebody who has a health issue, especially a mental health issue, is not getting sleep, I like to quote this. I read from somebody in Facebook. He said, if somebody is not getting sleep during the daytime, then the problem is at the body level. If somebody is not getting sleep at night, it means it is a mental health issue. The mind is at the problem, some unrest or something. So there are a lot of people who are sleep deprived, apnea, and several health issues they suffer. So with this technique of sound healing, while we are active, our brain is right now in a beta state. When you go to the first level of sleep, it becomes alpha state. When you go to the deep sleep, or we call REM, rapid eye movement, at that time it's called theta state. So the sound healing is actually provides a very deeper level of relaxation. It is actually very easy, and it's totally, you know, non-intrusive. And at the same time, the person, you know, you don't need the real support or the participation from the client. The client can just lie down, and just he needs to lie down. That's it. He doesn't have to bother himself to hear also. He can go to sleep, you know, at the final levels. Yeah. So there are a lot of, you know, benefits with sound healing. Towards the end, you know, whoever is can stay back, we will try to, I will do the, you know, gentle tapping of the bowl, and hopefully our technology, let's see how much you are able to hear. It depends on the high fidelity of the, you know, speakers we have. So there are several benefits with the mental, you know, sound healing at the emotional level, physical level, and the mental level. There are a lot of PubMeds available. You can just go to, just type sound healing and type PubMed, and you'll find a lot of scientific documents. You know, especially the Europe and US, they have done a lot of advanced studies, especially from a corona standpoint. I read, I think I posted in our alumni group, that scientists in MIT, in the Massachusetts Institute of Technology, they are actually found that the brain can generate antibodies, you know, based on the sound. So they, for especially to compare, to provide some kind of immunity for you know, coronavirus. They're doing some study around it. Yeah, that was something very interesting. Coming to physical well-being, it's all about, like I said, it's all about sleep, food, and exercise. You know, predominantly these are the three things. You know, and when we say food or nutrition, you know, not like I said, normally we tend to think it's only, you know, food, but it's actually not just food. There's water also, because 72% of our body is water, and the rest of the thing is food. And the water today, the water we drink is, you know, clean and pure, but it got severely unhealthy properties. The properties are the one that's carrying the water to the 100 trillion cells. See, like I said, you know, the food we eat get digested, it becomes micronutrients. Then we are breathing oxygen. Then you need a carrier. It's like a first leg of the journey. The last mile is transporting these micronutrients and oxygen to 100 trillion cells, you know, across the body. So you need a highly efficient, you know, water in the form of blood is what is carrying the micronutrient and foods to 100 trillion cells. And cells also, you know, they have a small gap called cellular membrane, or what we call aquaporins. So only through that it can go into. So the molecular structure of the, you know, water is also very, very important. Not only the kind of what the water contains, the calcium, magnesium, or potassium, sodium, what the size of the water or the molecular structure of the water makes all the difference. Again, this is also available in, you know, PubMed. People are interested to study more about it, you can do that. Just type the word ERW, electrolyzed reduced water. That's how the medical world calls it, electrolyzed reduced water. Yeah. So what we say is, you kind of bite your water, you know. In fact, food we say, you know, and the recommendation for the food is, you know, we recommend plant-based, organic, and whole foods with vitamin D3 and vitamin B12. Those two vitamins are very, very essential. Vitamin D3, as you all know, primarily we get it from the sunlight. You know, in a tropical country like India, there's absolutely no, you know, dearth for sun. We have, you know, almost like a 12 months of, you know, kind of a summer, especially in places like Chennai, etc. But only catch is, you know, especially, I mean, again, you know, we hate to thank Corona, but the good thing happened with the Corona is, as you all have read, the air quality has improved a lot. The atmospheric pollution has come down a lot. Previously, especially in cities, because of smog, even if you expose yourself to sun, you will not get enough vitamin D3. You know, now I wish all of you, you know, get some time to catch some sunlight and improve your vitamin D3 levels, because only when you have, only when the body has got a normal vitamin D3 levels, that's when the calcium and iron absorption will happen. You know, otherwise, however you supplement your body with the calcium and iron, if the vitamin D levels are low, the absorption will not happen. You know, so once, if that is not happening, then the, because of calcium deficiency, there could be osteoporosis, body pain, and several kind of issues can happen. And one more thing I wanted to, so it's very, so the combination of food and water plays a very important role. You know, the most of the reason why we ask for we, you know, kind of advocate Yeah, plant-based food is, the plant-based food is alkaline. It's a very, like, very natural. If I ask you, if we have a vehicle and if you have a car, for example, what is it that you put? You put kerosene or a petrol diesel? You put petrol or diesel according to the car. If it is a flight, we put the, the jet fuel, right? The white petrol they call. So the body is also a very complex, very advanced kind of a mechanism. So it's very important, the four components that's going into the body, right? The oxygen we breathe, the thoughts that are going into our system, then the water and food. All these four are should be the proper grade. That's where you can begin with defending the against diseases. So in Tamil, in generally in the how, see, it's not only important what you eat, it's also how you eat and when you eat. Primarily, it's recommended eat when you're hungry, and also you kind of relish, chew, and kind of swallow it as a liquid. That's why we call in Tamil. I always like to say, chore, kudi, neerai kadi. Water, you just don't gulp it. You kind of let the taste the water, and because unlike food, water does not require any digestion. You can, through our esophagus membrane, you can directly go into our entire system, and the first consumer of water is actually the brain. So it's very important we hydrate ourselves and eat healthy food, especially plant-based food, because it's alkaline. If it is acidic, if we are eating any acidic part of food, if we eat dairy products or animal products, what happens is the body actually cannot take it into the bloodstream. It will actually leach the minerals in the body. The calcium, magnesium, potassium, sodium in the body will be leached to convert the acidic food or acidic water to alkaline. So in this process, we actually, it leads to a lot of mineral deficiency and vitamin deficiency. Yeah, thank you. So briefly about water, there are, like I said, 72% of our body is water. And the three major reasons why we get a lot of health issues, be it diabetes, be it cancer. See, when I talk about diseases, there are predominantly there are kind of three kinds of, or four kinds of diseases. One is, what we call, kind of a congenial or a congenital, right? What happened from the time of birth. A lot of people are born with some health issues, those are all like a congenial or congenital. Then we say like an infectious disease, what here we are observing in our lifetime. We thought in our lifetime we never get any kind of infectious diseases. We are never prepared. Even while a lot of superpowers are not prepared for pandemic like this, a kind of infectious diseases. Third is actually lifestyle diseases. And fourth is actually geriatric diseases, because of old age, what kind of health issues we get, So here, if you really look at it, if you really look at the, lifestyle diseases, approximately, I just looked at the 2015 data. I was just studying the global birth and death. Approximately about close to 60 million people, die in a year across the world. In 60 million people die in a world, and about close to 140, births happen in a year. And what is actually going to happen is, a lot of this, birth is not going to increase much, but death is going to, a lot of deaths are going to happen. And at some point, they will become equal, and again the death will take over. That's how the the statistical or scientific extrapolation is. So it's many of them were stating corona kills less people than the number of people killed by lifestyle diseases. All these heart diseases like diabetes and cancer and lung diseases primarily. So a lot of people die because of lifestyle diseases, and for that, food and water plays a major role. And these three things, acidic waste, oxidation and free radical damage, dehydration, especially from the water side, can cause a lot of lifestyle diseases. So it's very important we actually kind of feed ourselves with the healthy water, what we call super healthy water. So there I come across, I think Anand spoke in detail about it, so I'll just mention about it. So primarily primarily a water analyzer like this help you to get you the right grade of water. You start like a car, you start putting a petrol, you start bringing the right grade of water. Yeah. So with that, I come to my end of my presentation. I'll just do a quick recap of what we saw and what actions we can take based on this session. So practice, daily meditation cleaning for our individual and global spiritual well-being. Not only for meditation that you practice, it's not only for our individuals, it's also for the global well-being, because it vibrates, the thoughts vibrates. Give a gap of 5 to 30 minutes before responding or reacting to incidents that make us get extremely happy, sad, or angry. This is about handling your emotions, and develop a sense of gratitude, optimism, learn time management to reduce stress, depression, anxiety. This is to keep up the mental health. And coming to water, we recommend always sit and drink water. Taste the water and drink. Don't just gulp the water. Drink 1 liter of water for 22 kgs of your body weight. That's the amount of water to drink. Because today we live in a situation where we live in an AC room or AC car. We are not able to really read our senses whether I am feeling thirsty or not. But our organs work 24/7. So it's very important we hydrate ourselves adequately and avoid drinking water 30 minutes before food and after food, and drink water before going to bed. This is very, very important. A lot of us think, if I drink water before going to bed, I may go to loo often. I may get up and go to loo often. But actually, only when we are standing, because of gravity, we will feel like urinating. But when you lie down, after some time, you will not get the urge to urinate often. See, because our body organs are working 24/7. So it's very important we hydrate our body enough before going to bed. Because a lot of cases, the heart attacks happen at the early mornings about 3 o'clock or 4 o'clock because total dehydration. The blood has become very thick, and even a minor blocks in the artery can actually collapse. So it's very important we hydrate before going to bed. And we recommend ionized, alkalized, antioxidant rich microclustered water. This is the right grade of water for the body at a TDS of 150 to 300 ppm. This is very important we drink the right TDS, because I know the world got gave us a different kind of problem, but in fact India was about to implement a nationwide TDS of 150 to 300, 500 actually, because right now the whole India, if you recall it, people who use the RO water, they're all drinking a TDS of 5 to 50, which is without bacteria, but is very, very dangerous. It can cause all kinds of lifestyle diseases, starting from diabetes, cancer. Water has got a major role in it. We generally say that tobacco causes cancer, but I will say with a lot of scientific data, water can cause cancer if it is not the right grade of water. Yeah. And coming to food, it's about eating food when you're hungry. And I think a lot of messages coming in, especially from Namalwar, etc. He actually kind of, he was a visionary. He was foreseeing. He was just casually mentioning, what will you do when you stop getting food from outside? He was actually urging people to grow our own food, and eat food at least 2 to 3 hours before going to bed. That's what is recommended. Then really chew and drink your food. It's very, because we have teeth only in our mouth, it's not in our stomach. So it's very important we kind of chew and drink our food. Then wash your vegetables and fruits. We recommend in this device that I was explaining, the Kangen water analyzer, it comes with the 11.5 pH water that has got the ability to take out the pesticides from inside. Because a lot of times when they grow all the vegetables, and they actually start putting the pesticide at the seed stage. So a lot of your insecticides, we normally tend to wash the outside, but a lot of these traces of pesticides, chemical fertilizers are actually lying deep inside the seed level. So when you use the 11.5 pH microclustered water, you'll be able to take out from inside. And my other recommendation is always, drinking aloe vera, especially people who are looking for something like a superfood, to nourish their body very well. I recommend using aloe vera to remove toxins from food, air, and water. It also improves our absorption as well as immunity. And that's because what happens is the villi of the small intestine, it is like a hair-like. The small intestine will have a hair-like structure. It's called villi. And all the food we eat, it get digested, it go to the villi. The villi is primarily absorb, all the nutrients into the bloodstream. If there are any inorganic matter or a chemical, they all get stay in the villi. So you need something like an aloe vera. Aloe vera it's a natural detoxifier and cleanser to kind of get rid of. It can actually neutralize the effect of the toxins and improve the absorption as well as immunity. Because today, because I know it's not so easy to get organic vegetables, and when we eat the normal vegetable, because of these toxins in the food, the absorption is only about 30%. That's what happens. When we combine with the aloe vera, the absorption will go up to 90%. Yeah. So in our center, we offer heartfulness meditation cleaning. It's like a no cost. And we offer sound healing through this Tibetan singing bowls. It's for individuals as well as groups. And we offer water testing as well as Kangen water demo and installation. And we give advisory and awareness on plant-based nutrition as well as aloe vera for health and nutrition supplement and personal and skin care. Yeah. So primarily, this is my last slide, and the mission, my personal mission is why am I here? What am I doing? It's primarily to replace all the dialysis centers, diabetic clinics, cancer hospitals, dermatology clinics with holistic wellness experience centers offer preventive healthcare. Still, of course, we respect doctors and hospitals. We need them as a safety net. And I always say, you drive a car, but you are not an automobile engineer. Similarly, you do not have to be a doctor to take care of your health. You need a doctor only when you lose health. As long as you're able to follow these, health protocols, you will never get to see doctor in your life. So, to accomplish my mission, I'm looking for social entrepreneurs, business partners to partner with us to set up this holistic wellness experience centers in almost every pin code. That's what my mission in my life is. So with that, I would like to thank you all for your patient, listening, hearing. Open to questions and answers.
Yeah. Okay, Raghu. Thank you for your presentation. I think we can go ahead with the Q&A session now.
Yeah,
thank you.
Thank you.
Kanagaraj, please coordinate.
Yes, sir. I think Sedu sir is having a question. How do we assess 11.5 pH water?
See, like I think Anand was explaining, you have the, there is the, in a conventional way, only through chemical you can do it. You use a pH tester. I think Anand was explaining about a pH tester, right? You use a pH tester or a litmus paper that you dip it in the water. It can show you the alkaline level. Yeah.
Any more questions we have?
Sir, I have a question. Nirmal here.
Hello, Nirmal. Yeah.
See, I have a habit of watching TV while I'm having food.
Mm-hmm.
How much it is dangerous to mental health and physical health?
It's better to, occasionally it's fine. Occasionally it's fine, but it's better not to do it on a regular basis. And in fact, I also used to do until a year ago or so, until I heard a video by a person who is actually from another spiritual organization, right? She was actually, her statement was very touching. Immediately I stopped it, and I also don't let my children do it. She was just mentioning it's like a 10 minutes, why don't your body and mind are doing so much for you. So that is the food is the only nutrition for your body and healthy mind. So why don't you give that opportunity for the body and mind, to the 10 minutes, they are not asking you for so much of time. So that was very touching for me. Ever since I stopped, eating food while watching TV.
Okay.
It's not good at all. Yeah.
I think Karthik Kumar sir has some question. Sir, are you online?
Yeah. Hello, Raghu.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Insightful presentation. Thanks for that.
Thank you. Yeah.
See, I have a question like, we are having so many aloe vera products from a lot of companies, right?
Correct. Yeah.
How far is dependable actually when we are getting the natural aloe vera? Whether we need to, how to classify which one is good and which one is bad? Because when we are getting natural one, whether we better to go for natural one or we should go for a product brand.
Yeah, good question. See, actually what you need to understand in the plant kingdom is there are several species, right? For example, I was told tomato, there are about close in the world, there are about close to 300 species of tomato. In India, I think we get Nata Takali and we call Bangalore Takali, right? And so is with any of the fruits, etc. So the species plays a major role. I was told the dates from there is a one kind of a space the dates that are available in Iraq. It cost about per kg is kind of almost like 500 times more than the normal dates. So the species is very important. What I recommend or we recommend is aloe vera barbadensis miller. That is primarily there are about 400 species of aloe vera. Only 4 species have the perfect medicinal healing properties. 12 of them have toxins. So it's very important you choose the right kind of thing. I can send some recommendation to you offline. Yeah, you can just on the chat box just type aloe vera to me. I will send some additional details to you. Yeah.
Sure. And you mean to say that actually there is specific kind of aloe vera to be taken?
Yes. It's because see, aloe vera, what you need to understand is aloe vera, that's why to people hang it in the entrance of their hall, because entrance of their home. Aloe vera is a very, very unique plant. It can actually absorb toxins. Even people say the bad, evil, right? Some kind of evil things also it can absorb. So if you're growing aloe vera in your home or backyard, that is not an aloe vera fit for consumption. Yeah.
Okay. Thank you.
Any more questions?
Yeah.
Hello.
Hi, Raghu.
Hello.
Yeah,
This is Vikram
see-through here.
Okay. Hello, Vikram.
Yeah.
Actually,
Thanks. It was very...
you can go ahead. I'll talk later.
Okay. Thanks for a very insightful presentation. A lot of very important things I could gather from that. I just had one follow-up to my earlier question. You said about you could measure 11.5 pH in your water supply through using a litmus paper. I think that's the chemistry lab kind of method.
Yeah.
Normally, in a day-to-day basis, suppose my wife has to wash the vegetables, the kitchen sink. How does she find out? Do we need to purchase litmus paper and keep it with us at home?
That's why I'm telling with whatever limited knowledge or whatever knowledge I have. 11.5 pH water, when you put caustic soda in the water, it becomes alkaline, but that is not a healthy way of doing it. That's not a advised way. That's why we recommend the device. I showed one of the slides, I showed a device. It's a Kangen water ionizing device. That device, they use what they call is we use a technology. Use technology that splits the water into H2 gets split into hydroxyl ion. The hydroxyl ion will make the water alkaline. The device, we use the device primarily in my home. I primarily use the device. That device helped me to convert the normal water to a 11.5 pH water.
Okay. So this device is available in the market, or you sell it?
Yes.
Your company?
It can. It's available in the market. If you can just put the word Kangen, I can actually send you the details. Yeah.
Sure. And roughly, how much would it cost?
So it's to understand the cost, you need to sit for another 60 minutes to 90 minutes presentation.
Oh, I see. Okay. No, just to have a band,
I'll help you. I'll tell you, for a 4-member family, it costs about 9.5 rupees per person per day price.
Okay. This is for a lifetime of how many years?
20 years. Correct. Yeah. 20 years lifetime. Yeah.
Okay. Great. And you also mentioned about taking aloe vera gel. So is that available in a ready-made edible form in the supermarkets, etc.?
See, again, with whatever I have gone through in the market, there is a brand which I use. It's called Forever Living Products. They are the largest growers and distributors of aloe vera in the world. And it's about 99.7% purity. That's the purity. They don't use any preservatives, and they grow in Texas and South America, and they grow it in a kind of a place where even their vehicles, which they pick up or battery operated vehicle, because we're using some kind of a diesel or a petrol vehicle, that actually the gas can go into the aloe vera. That kind of a sensitive the plant is. So if you can just put the chat, if you can just put your query, or I can send you the details.
Okay, fine. Yeah,
it's available. It's available in India. Yeah.
Okay, because normally in the store shelves you see a lot of products which says it contains aloe vera, like even in your, cosmetics, in your face creams and things like that. But I never come across something which is edible. I never found it in the food counter, for example. So there are such things. Is it?
Correct.
Do the packaging?
There is something called International Aloe Science Council, IASC, International Aloe Science Council. That is almost like a FDA for aloe vera. They review all the national, international growers, and this is actually kind of approved by the Forever Living Products is approved by them, and it's available in India. You can just message me or put in a chat box. I can send you the details. Yeah.
Okay, right, great. Thanks a lot.
Welcome. Yeah.
Hello. Raghu, this is Vikram here.
That was a very
good
Vikram.
presentation.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah.
Actually, my question would be a little bit confusing, but still, I just want a clarity on this. Is money inversely proportional to spiritual, holistic well-being?
No, not at all. Yeah, not at all. Yeah. In fact,
the reason why I ask this question is, I hope you understand how the Indian government works. They are very specific when it comes to money matters, and in relation with spiritual things. So they fine tune all the things. See, right now, all the transportation, all the IT things, all things which are related to money has been locked down. And only essential commodities are working out right now. Even that is going to be a problem, I think, in some time soon. So this question needs a lot of understanding. So that's why I ask. You might take a lot of time. Even after the session, you can just send the message. Is money inversely proportional to spiritual wellness being?
So you are just asking whether money and spirituality are they in conflict with each other, right?
Go ahead.
You're primarily asking, is money and spiritual, or kind of in a conflict with each other, right?
Yeah.
So what my quick and short answer is, the money in the hands of a good person, will be put for a good use. The money in the hands of a wrong person can use it for a wrong purpose. So especially, when you have lots of money, it's very important you're also spiritually balanced. So that, in fact, I was just before getting into this, session, I was in another session where the presenter was telling, just because I get rich, doesn't mean I'm going to, ride 10 cars at a time. I'm going to eat, 20 idlis at a time. I'm going to sleep on 30 beds at a time. I'm going to use only one car or two cars, probably max. So if I have the spiritual well-being, spiritually balanced, then I'll be able to put the money for a better use. Today, I think in this incident, probably you would have seen Ratan Tata, right? He donated about close to 1,500 crores. And even went to the extent of telling, if my nation is in trouble, I'm willing to, surrender my entire wealth to the nation. So
but what is the end result? Actually, the end result, I think, it is a question mark only. In spite of donating all this money, so let's wait and see how the result has come.
Sure.
Yes.
Yeah. Feel free to give me a call. We can discuss, offline.
Yeah. Thanks a lot.
Welcome. Yeah.
Any more questions?
Good. So shall we close the session now, Raghu? If there's no any questions?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
So thank you, Raghu, and for the wonderful presentation.
Yeah, thank you.
And I would also like to thank Prem, for taking pain to introduce you and also the subject. It's a fantastic initiative, and I think you can continue, Raghu, because after all this goodness you have been doing now, the wellness. So after that, the questions, whatever it is, you can share your numbers.
Sure.
That will be really nice.
Correct,
people can get in touch with you after the session as well.
Sure.
So you have gone into a wonderful journey, and wish you good wishes to you also.
Thank you. One just closing point. If any of you or your family member like to attend the same session, we are doing a repeat program on 18th. as part of another wellness organization. So whoever wants to have your family member or friend attend that session, you can put it in their in a personal chat so that I'll be able to send an invitation. Thank you.
Raghu, can you please share your contact details to the participants if they want?
Yeah, I will put it in my
your website.
Put in the chat box also, sir, so that people can take. And
that will be better.
Also asking the presentation document, the PPT which you have displayed. No, they were asking.
Sure. I'll be glad to share. Yeah.
And thank you again, Prem and Raghu, for taking so much pain and taking up the session. And this is a wonderful way of getting connected with all the BSMEDians world over.
Thank you.
And Kanagaraj for the great effort he's doing. He's been organizing it.
Absolutely. Thank you so much.
And for tomorrow's session, we have Dr. Shivaraman. He's the world-renowned Siddha specialist. So he's going to give a wonderful talk on Corona with Kadanthapovam. It's going to be a fantastic session, and all of the participants will enjoy. They can also pass on the information to your friends and family. Let's make it a very big event. Okay. Thank you all. Good night to all of you.
The tomorrow session duration, sir?
I think we'll hold on the same way. No, it's 1 hour. That's
okay.
It.
Since he is, he'll talk more on the medicines. Are we extending it? Is what I wanted to know.
I've told him around 25 to 30 minutes time of talk, same as Q&A. If there is more questions, we can extend. Not a problem.
Sure. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you so much, all of you. Again,
for the other members also, so non-BSMEDians can also participate in.
No, all the function, all the programs from today. I think we have started up opening up for all the family and friends. Very close nets, so that we can always promote it. Okay.
No, that's precisely I was asking. That's precisely I was asking because he.
Yeah, Shankar, we have done it now. But it will be a good session because the whole idea of BSMED is we want to transmit knowledge. It's not only within us, we want to transmit knowledge to other people also. So let's all hope to learn together and let's take this initiative wonderfully. Okay. Prem, do you want to add something, Prem, just to sum up? Are you there?
Hello.
Yeah, Prem.
Thank you very much, Mr. Rahu.
Thank you.
I think you have set the stage right. All of us are quite aware right now about what we can expect from tomorrow's session. So I thank you for that specifically, and it has been I feel that many of us did not have a question to raise today, just because of the fact that during the presentation itself, we started thinking onto our own how this would be beneficial to us. I think it made the effect that all of us have understood many of the things on our own, which resulted in not raising many questions. So it was very interesting to understand things in a very scientific way, what is otherwise called as an arts. So we thank you very much for that. Thank Mr. Shankar and Kanagaraj for taking all the efforts, and thanks for opening this event tomorrow for the family members, close knit ones, so that it is adding more value to the brand BSMED. Thank you, sir. Thank you very much.
Thank you. I have created a feedback form. If any of you like to put your feedback, you are most welcome. Thank you.
We also place on record the thanks to Dr. Rupa. She's a director in charge. And has taken effort to also organize the whole concept. Okay. So good night to all of you. We'll catch up tomorrow again.
Thank you. Thank you.
Bye, sir. Good night. Good night. Thank you.
Thank you. Good night.